Welcome everybody back to the channel. I'm so excited to welcome on this guest. We are dipping into the HYROX community, and he is a very decorated athlete, Alex Rončević. He is the defending HYROX world champion, two-time European champion. He's been on the podium at the World Champs every year since 2019, and he recently won first at a major in Amsterdam. Alex, welcome. How is your afternoon, or I guess it's evening for you at this point?
Hey, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's pretty chill. Like the last couple of days after the race, I've been working in the morning as I'm a teacher, so I always work like from 8 to 1, a couple of hours a day, and yeah, just not much then, just working and being at home, like with the dogs, hanging around, having some good food, drinks, and yeah, that's it.
Ooh, that sounds lovely. We'll bring the dogs on in a bit because you also have two dogs. I have two dogs. People think I'm crazy, but I want to talk about you being a teacher, so full time. Also, I would still call you a full time athlete, but what grade and specialty do you teach?
I'm in elementary school, like the little kids, like from 6 to 10. So I teach every subject almost, except of music and English. There is an extra teacher coming for that, and yeah, it's a challenge, but like it, love it, and so it helps me like keeping my routine. Yeah.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a teacher?
No, not really. It was kind of later after after I finished college. I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do, and then first I wanted to do like to be a professional in sports or something, but didn't manage to get at the top level when I was like swimming because that was my main sport,
Mhm.
and yeah, then started studying and then figured out, okay, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, and let's try teaching, and that's how it ended. Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to get into so much and obviously talk about your background with swimming and being in high rocks. But if somebody were to walk into the classroom, what would they see? Would it be the same Alex that your competitors know, that the fans know, or do you almost have this different teacher persona when you're with your students?
Yeah, I mean, it would be like pretty calm. It's always pretty calm in the room because we are like together teaching. I have an assistant teacher, so we are pretty much always like walking around, going from kid to kid, helping them because in Austria we have a lot of kids like now from Ukraine, from Russia, and who don't know like their language very well. So we need really like to make sure like everybody gets as good as possible to one level at school. So we're a lot like we're trying to help them as much as possible. So we're walking a lot around and trying to get them on the same level. And yeah, it's a lot to do. But I mean, they are pretty nice at this age. They are sweet. They are kind. They are like um, yeah, and they're really lovely, and it's not really complicated with them. It's more the parents sometimes who can be like like a bit more complicated, and but it's really nice. That's why I chose like to teach at elementary school and not on the higher classes, because then it's gonna start like to be a bit more difficult.
It's the age where the students still worship their teacher. And have they ever seen you out in the wild? My nephew recently, he's only 4, but he saw his teacher at Target the other day, and his eyes got so big, and it was this big ordeal because he's seeing his teacher in real life. Do those interactions ever happen with you and your students?
It happens because like I live in the same district where I teach, so I see them sometimes outside when I go for a run or for biking or with the dogs for a walk. But it's not that they know like that I'm like a professional athlete, or some of the parents know, because like they've seen me on Instagram or I don't know, but the kids they're quite too young to know anything about it. They knew about like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and the big guys, but not like yeah.
Well, they got to figure out that you're kind of a big deal in the HYROX community. Maybe their parents will help educate them. Have you ever dipped into like their PE, physical education, like sports classes?
Yeah, for sure.
And do you show off any of your skills there?
I mean, it's different. We are just I do the classes with them, but we are playing most of the time. It's like playing or some kind of gymnastics, and it's like there are basic skills, and then they for
Mhm.
sure see okay, our teacher can do something. Is very athletic. Is into sports for sure. When I'm in the t-shirt, they see okay, he has like some big muscles and all the stuffs. Uh, that's sometimes really cute and sweet. But yeah, other than that, they are like they don't know much about sport and the big things. So it's more fun for me and than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, my PE teachers never were even close to as fit as I'm sure you are. But let's kind of talk about the journey, how you got into HYROX. You mentioned that you were a swimmer, I think, for about 15 years, and you competed at one of the highest levels. You know, you were winning national championships. What was that experience like growing up? How did you realize that swimming was something that you wanted to invest a lot of your time in?
I started swimming when I was about 8 years old. My mom and dad brought me like here to the local swimming club, and I always was a good swimmer. Breaststroke was my main stroke, and from the very beginning, like it was clear, okay, this guy is gonna swim breaststroke, like on the main events and competitions and everything. And so it started like with three times a week, then four, five, six. When I was like 11 years old, I trained like twice a day, almost every day. Like waking up in the morning, 5 a.m. My dad was waking me up and like driving me to the pool 5:30 or 6 sometimes. We jumped into the pool 7:30, leaving the pool, heading to school after school again, like pool 2 hours, 1 hour gym afterwards. So my whole childhood was like being around, being at sports, being at the pool, being in the gym, being around same-minded kids. Yeah, and that's where I got my discipline from. I think that's why I now don't have any problems like with waking up in the morning and or going for a run, doing some hard sessions or something. When I was 12 years old, 13, we started like swimming a lot with a lot. I mean like 80 kilometers a week.
Oh,
So yeah, that's crazy. So you need like to be around 20 hours in the pool to get this amount of kilometers in. And now I'm like running 40, 50 kilometers. So for me is right now I'm really enjoying doing sport, doing high rocks, because now I am pushing my limits, but there is more quality work and it's not like quantity. And I went through this in my childhood. I'm glad I did it, because otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. I got the base, the endurance base, the mental side. Like we were swimming like sets of, let's say, 25 times 400 meters. That's like
oh
translated to run,
my God.
translated to
That's so
running.
much.
That's like running 25 times a mile. And that's nobody would do that because like it's just it's
I
just
know I
pain.
wouldn't.
Yeah. And yeah, our coach was from Hungary. That was like his way of training, and nobody was questioning that. It was like what the coach says needs to be done, and that's it. Afterwards, like now, when I'm thinking about it, it was just crazy what we went through. uh, but it helped me like being the athlete that I am now. And yeah, I'm at the end it paid off, you know, like even if it took me like almost 25 years doing sport to earn some money and get something out of it, it paid off at the end. I've been patient. I stuck to my routine. Since I'm like 8, since I started training, I don't remember more than a week when I was off from training. You know, I was almost training all the time when I was sick or injured or something. Then I took a rest. Other than that, I was like every day doing something related to sport, and that's my life. That's my life right now. When I'm like 2 days off, I get nervous. I need to do something. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, as you said, like I was pretty good on a national level, but never made like the big step on the onto like international competitions, Europeans or worlds, or every swimmer like is dreaming of the Olympic Games, making it to the
Mhm.
Olympic Games, making the Olympic cut. Uh, Looking back, I was not made for swimming. You know, my mobility is not that good. I don't. I'm 186 in centimeters. That's tall, but not that tall. You know, if you're
Mhm.
a swimmer, you have very long arms, big hands. You are flexible. You have a good mobility, and that's not the type of athlete I am. You know, and so it was everything I won, or how to say, everything I earned during my swimming career, it was hard work. It
Mhm.
other maybe more talented guys uh, would, would achieve this very easily because like they are more flexible, have are laying better in the water, or having these small things what you get as a gift from when you are like a kid. Um, that's what I don't had like for swimming, but I think I have these for HYROX. So that's
Mhm.
why I consider like HYROX as my sport, because I have the perfect height for running, the perfect height for the rowers, for example, for the sleds, for the lunges. You know, it suits me way more than swimming did. So yeah, I maybe it was not like the perfect sport for me, but it teached me so a lot. It teached me a lot. I'm happy. Like I have all the friends I have right now. Almost all the friends are I met at swimming. You know, so it's that's the only friends who stayed like through my whole life. When I'm looking back, I had some friends at the university. I had some friends during school and everything, but I don't have them anymore. So that's
Mhm.
what there's a different bond when you like train with your friends in the pool and you go through hell, sweat together, cry together, and do all the big sets together. So yeah, so I'm really happy I did this, and but I'm more happy like that I found like about 6 years ago out about HYROX and started this journey. Yeah.
So you've spent, I mean, essentially your entire life. Is Frenchie snoring, by the way? Are we boring him?
Yeah, he's.
Oh my no, I
I
think
didn't
it's
know you hear
perfect.
that.
It's so funny. Because if you know anything about Frenchies, what did you say are the 2 things that they do?
Snoring and farting. Pablo.
So Pablo, I'm sorry that we're boring you. We'll let him have his little evening snooze. You you spend basically your entire life building this massive base and all of this endurance training that I'm sure at times, especially being so young, starting at 8 years old, and you're dedicating basically all of your time to being a competitive athlete, a high level athlete, without actually seeing maybe the financial gain. But now, I mean, how many years later? 25 years later
Mm.
since you began, you're seeing that you can turn it into something that is on par for being a professional athlete. You are a professional athlete. Throughout that journey, like when you transitioned, and we'll get more into that in a minute, but when you transitioned from swimming to HYROX, was there any thought that you didn't want to be a competitive athlete anymore and you just wanted to like take a moment to chill?
Yes, I was like, I started triathlon before HYROX. So at the end of my swimming career, I started like doing triathlon. Like this was more like trying to find some sport I can do, like I can spend a bit time on just to stay fit, to stay healthy, but not more on that competitive level I used to do. Um, and I knew like I didn't make any money out of swimming. My parents paid I don't know how many money like on
Mhm.
training camps, on swimming suits, on bringing me to competitions, flying around Europe a bit, and then national wise, like it costs a lot of money. I mean, it's not like tennis or other expensive sports, but it's also a lot of money, and you're not getting anything out of it. And yeah, and then I started like studying. I did some triathlons, but for me it was like, okay, I'm just going like on competitions for fun, like to see where to like keep a certain level as an athlete, to stay healthy. um, but it wasn't like the my aim was not like to be on a very very competitive level anymore. So yeah, and then one day a friend sent me like a link for Facebook, and then I opened it and it was like, oh, HYROX. What's HYROX?
That's how you found HYROX, was just
Yeah,
from a
about
friend sending you a link on
yeah, yeah,
Facebook?
yeah, yeah. He was like, you need to try this out. I think that's something for you.
Your
And
friend
at
knows
this
you
time,
well.
yeah, yeah, it was very lucky. Like if you think back, and I was like, oh, nice. It's a bit of running, and then these are the endurance workouts and everything. So I just registered for that one, and that one was in Vienna back in 2018. The first one in
Mhm.
Vienna. I think before HYROX had like 3 or 4 competitions somewhere around Germany, and I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And I saw like they are giving away prize money, and it was like, I'm not sure, maybe 500 euros for the win and 250. But for me, this was, oh, nice, you can win something,
Yeah.
because before there was no money in swimming. It doesn't matter. Maybe if you won a competition, you got some goggles or a towel or something. But it's yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke because I know how much like swimmers put
They
how much
invest a lot
work
of
swimmers
money.
put in, and there is
Yeah,
no
and
money in
time,
swimming.
obviously.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
and it's an Olympic sport. It's crazy, and I was like, okay, let's try it. And without any preparation, I didn't knew what a ski erg is. I've never seen a sled in a gym, or I haven't done any wall balls. So uh, yeah, I knew what the exercises are, and I was just okay. Let's go out, try. Um, and yeah, I got fourth overall, second in my age group, and I
In your
immediately
first ever HYROX?
yeah, I did a pro race. I was like, yeah, if I sign up, I sign up for pro. There is no question. I'm doing open. So yeah, I got stuck at the sleds for sure. It was so hard, and it took me like almost 10 minutes on the wall balls. It was a great, but other than that, I was running pretty quick, I think, for my first race, and I went pretty good for the stations. So because I've never did them before, so I think it was not bad. And yeah, and I qualified immediately, like for the first world champs. It wasn't that big at the first world champs. They were just Germans, I think, and
And
myself.
you.
Yeah,
You
but
were outnumbered.
yeah, yeah. But I had like 6 months to prepare for it. It was like 2019 in April, and Vienna was 2018 November. And I started like training really specific for it, like working on the stations, working on my runs, getting better. I had a 108 in Vienna and a 102 at Worlds then. Like I
Oh, wow.
improved 6 minutes by just like training a bit specifically. So, and we got some big money for that time. I got like $1,500 at that time for the second place, and Luke, who got the title, he got like 2.5. So for me, that was, oh nice, I can do sport and I can earn money. So maybe if I stick to that, I'll get to the point where I can make a living out of it, and can make my dream work. Like my dream was always like being a professional athlete,
Mhm.
doing sport and making money out of it for living. And yeah, but suddenly like COVID came up, and then everything like stopped kind of bit. But HYROX made up these virtual challenges where you needed to do a workout and then film yourself, upload it to a special website, and
Mhm.
then you get some points. And at the end, who has the most points like wins a little prize or something. That was a nice way from HYROX to keep us like motivated and doing something, and coming through COVID. And yeah, and luckily they started again, like with the competitions and with worlds and everything. So and it continued like growing. Um, and HYROX, I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. Like it's crazy. This fitness challenge is just getting bigger and bigger. People love it. People getting addicted. As I like after my first race, I was like, okay, I can do it better. Then I got second at the worlds. Then I was like suddenly somewhere between the best of the worlds, even if the sport was very small. And then 2021 World Champs came up. I I don't know where I qualified, but I also qualified for it. Also, I improved my time. I was getting faster and faster. By that time, I was like around 1 hour. Again, like 2 to 3 minutes faster than at the worlds before, and I just kept getting better. I mean, I just started with the HYROX journey, and the prize money raised. I got like 5K for the next World Championships, and then 10 at the next one, and then 15, and then 25 right now. So it's getting bigger and bigger, and with this, all the sponsors coming in into the sport, um, I'm I would now be able like to just live from the sport, and that's what I
Oh,
ever
wow.
wanted. It's
So
it's really, it's really crazy, yeah.
do you like I could see from at the beginning of our conversation that you're super passionate about also being a teacher, but knowing that you could just lean fully into being an athlete, do you foresee that happening in the next couple of years? Or does actually having the balance of having this teacher job that you love and your students and being able to be an athlete actually serve you better?
Yeah, my thing is I'm 32 years old right now, but HYROX is a really endurance-based like race competition, a sport, and you can do it until you are 40. You could do
Mhm.
it until you are 40. Because if you check out the triathlons or the Ironmans or everything, they're just getting better at 35, 36, where they are at their peak. But as I started very early with 7, I don't see me like with 40 still being in the sport. But I recognize like the growth now, and what's coming in the next 2, 3, 4 to 5 years, because now is like the chance to take as much as possible from it. And so my goal is to stay at least the next 3 to 5 years in the sport. I think I can do it like uh, body wise, and from my athletic level, I can keep it. I don't know how many people are coming into the sport, how the elite will look like next year or in 2 years or in 3 years, but right now I'm somewhere at the top, so I think I can at least try to be there. And if I stop with teaching for the next 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, I'm sure I can be an even better athlete. I can step up another level, just focusing on the sport. You don't have to think about waking up in the morning. You don't need to stress about, okay, you need to correct some tests or take care of the parents, what they want. And it just
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a bit simpler. You can really focus. I can travel more. I can be like on training camps for weeks, like going out on high altitude camps, going out during winter, go there where it's hot, have a nice camp there, just train, wake up in the morning, train, eat, sleep, train again. So I'm sure I'm right now still in negotiations with some brands, and if I get one or two more deals I want to get, I'll think about stopping like for the next couple of years and just focusing on like being an athlete. Yeah.
Okay, we'll put a little pin in that, and a couple months from now, we'll circle back to see where you are. Good luck. Seriously, I think that is really cool, and knowing that you have this base of being a teacher, it's something you can always come back to, but leaning
Mhm.
into the athletic side, going back to, I mean, talking about just the growth of HYROX, it seems like in the past year and a half, at least for my eyeballs, this thing has exploded. And where I've spent the most time for my career has been in the CrossFit space. And whether it's people at my local affiliate, whether it's friends who do CrossFit or Orange Theory or Spartan races that are now getting into HYROX, it really is like just on the ups. Something that I love about it is that it is repeatable. It's very specific on what the standard is. You know exactly what to expect. And I think that that's what makes it interesting to, of course, athletes like you, but even just normal gym goers that want to do a fun fitness test with their friends. But if we are speaking to the highest level, knowing that each competition is essentially the same, the format is the same, what is that little carrot that keeps you driving to want to go to another one, to continue to have bigger goals? I know we'll talk about it later, but a grand slam is this year's goal. But what is that carrot that keeps you coming back?
I mean, as I said before, like a big goal would be like to be a professional athlete. Like when I'm 60 or 70 later, when I can look back and say I lived the dream of being a professional athlete. I did it for a couple of years. I know how it feels. I know what it is. Um, that's a thing I really want to achieve. And other than that, I want to see like where's the end? Like how good can I be as an athlete? What's possible in HYROX? Is it possible to go sub 50 in a single pro race? Is it possible?
Mhm.
Where is the end? Am I at the end right now? So I want to see if it's possible to run 3 minute pace on a K and still push the sleds hard. So I really want to
I'm
figure that
sweating
out.
thinking about that.
And yeah, and what I love about the sport is you can wake up in the morning and you don't feel like you are up for a run, and you don't feel you're up for hitting the gym. You can go out, ride the bicycle. You can go out for a climb. You can call some friends and play some tennis, or I don't know. Everything what makes you better as an athlete will help you improve
Mhm.
in a HYROX. And the HYROX is not that technical. It's and almost it's injury free. I mean, yeah, for sure. If you are like 40, 50, or in your 60s and you don't warm up, you can injure yourself. Yeah, you can injure yourself by
Alex, if
like
we're 30 and we don't warm up, there could be an
yeah, you can
injury.
injure yourself like by putting on your socks. Um, but other than that, the
Warm-ups are
movements,
important.
yeah, the movements are very basic. Like compared to
Yeah.
CrossFit, uh, I like the CrossFit movements, like some of them to implement in my training, like to get stronger, to get better, and everything. But
Mhm.
I can't do a handstand walk. I can't do like keeping pull-ups or keeping ring pull-ups or snatches or I don't know, because that's very technical. And if you're being honest, like being 30 or in your 40s and trying to learn this is very hard. So, and the risk of getting injured is very high. So, why not do HYROX? Because it's way more simple. You need to run, and all the other stations are like body weight or very endurance based. So it's way easier like to learn it, and that's why a lot of people love the sport.
Mhm.
And I think we built up a very nice community over the last years, and the events are almost everywhere over the world. Like you can combine it, like, and it's on the weekends, so you can travel, you can see, be with the community, you can race, you can see the city, you can do some sightseeing, be with friends, with family, and yeah, that's what I like about the sport.
Yeah, HYROX definitely hits a lot of the bucket list travel cities that I would like to go to, so you can kinda kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Sightseeing, some fitness. Okay, a little bit more sightseeing and get some stamps on my passport.
Yeah, it depends on what your goal is, but that's right. Yeah, and we have like some, even this season, some really nice locations. Like in 1 month, there's a major in Hong Kong. Then we are heading again to Las Vegas. Then the Worlds in Chicago at the Navy Pier. It's also an amazing location there.
Mhm.
So yeah, and with the sport getting bigger and bigger, it's just getting more excited.
Going back to this season's main goal for you is getting a grand slam, and for people who don't know, I had to look into this. It's winning all of the majors and worlds. Why do you think that this is the year that this really could be possible for you?
I mean, I'm coming into the year as a world champion, so I think I did something right the last 5 6 years. So, and I'm in pretty good shape. I mean, I showed it like the last weekend. So there are a lot of things that which need to come together to make this happen. Uh, I'm not sure if anybody else was thinking about this, like winning all majors and the worlds in one season. Uh, but yeah, I think that's something when I in 10, 15, 20 years when I look back to HYROX, maybe I'm still the only one, you know. That's a thing because I won worlds, I won the Europeans, I won like 2 major events right now. What's the next goal? Like the next goal would be like the perfect season, like it's in tennis. In tennis also there are just maybe a handful people who achieve this, or one, two, three people, I don't know, who achieved this goal, like winning all grand slams and the ATP finals at the end, or I don't know. So for me that's the same goal, like now in HYROX, winning all 4 majors and the worlds would be like crazy. I'll try everything. I said as long as I win a major, I'm coming to the next one. So if I win in Hong Kong, you'll see me in Vegas. If I win in Vegas, you'll see me in Glasgow. And yeah, that's that's what I love about the sport. It's just the competitive thing, just trying to be ready all the time, like being ready to go all the time. Like doesn't matter if it's October, November, December, January, February. It doesn't matter when. Like wake me up in the morning. I'm ready. I'm ready to crush a high rocks, and I'm always fit. I try to be always fit. So yeah, and I think I can if I achieve this goal, like that's that would be like perfect, and I think then. Uh, I want people to remember me like later. Like if you talk about HYROX, to mention my name, like even in 10
Mhm.
years, in 20 years, and I think that that's one big step I can do to make sure like this works.
So when you want to look back when, you know, you're a teacher full time and 10 years from now, you've retired from HYROX, you want your legacy in the sport to be that guy that has all of these decorated stats next to him. That's like your vision.
Yes, for sure. Maybe maybe in a couple of years, people will try also like to achieve it. Like somebody needs to start like talking about this, or having these big goals, having these big dreams, and maybe in a couple of years this will be like another goal. I want to be like Alex. I want to win also a Grand Slam, win also the world
Mhm.
title. And I think that makes the sport like grow even more, and gets even more attention to the sport. And I really hope like HYROX will still exist in 10, 20, 30 years from now, and to get as much people as possible into the sport. That's what we want to achieve. Like I started HYROX in 2018. There were like 200 competitors uh,
And
at
look at
this
it
race.
now.
Yeah, and now I don't know, there are like 10, 12,000. The big UK events are crazy, and the events are getting sold out within minutes. So it's I even heard like they are selling like on the black market tickets for UK events. That's crazy. They're selling
Oh
them
my
for
god.
500 pounds. It's so it's yeah, I mean, yeah, the Grand Slam would mean a lot. If not this year, I'm gonna try it for the next 3 to 5 years, and if I achieve this goal, this would be like amazing for me. But other than that, like HYROX gave me so much, it doesn't matter. I'm still enjoying racing, being with the community, having fun, seeing where I am as an athlete, and seeing myself like improving, still improving after 5 6 years. So yeah, my main goal is like right now to keep it like that, try to get better, and try to stay at the top for as long as possible.
If you achieve that goal, will you take a vacation? Because I think somewhere in this interview you said that you don't take more than 2 days off. So I'm curious when the last vacation that you took was and where it was, and like what kind of success you need to have before you're like, "Okay, I can take a step back. I can have some time for myself and do something outside of fitness."
Um, no, I'm going on vacations. I mean I said earlier like I'm not taking off. That just means I'm not focusing on HYROX. I'm not focusing on my training plan, or to go. I have to go on a run, or I have to do a gym session. When I'm on vacation, I do sport, but it's not. It's more for fun, you know. Like I'm waking up in the morning, maybe hitting the gym before breakfast, doing just what I like to do. It doesn't
What do you like to do?
it doesn't need to be necessarily something like HYROX specific. Maybe some squatting, bench pressing doesn't matter. Just something to stay fit, or hop
Mhm.
jump on the bike, go out for a bike ride, go out for a trail run. These are also, I enjoy the nature, so I enjoy doing sports in the nature. So even during vacation, I'm doing a lot. Last summer, I was like in France, in Italy, in Spain, in Croatia, in Serbia.
Ooh.
I was almost everywhere, and I did vacation, and we did some sport there too. So um, I think that's a really important thing. You need to be aware of, like um, you need some time off, like being away from the sport, spending time with family, with friends. After the Worlds in Nice, it was June, July, August. The rest of June, I was like just traveling, enjoying myself. Yeah, I kept my fitness, but not on that level. I mean, I did some runs, I did some gym sessions, but I mainly focused on being around friends, being with family, vacation with my girlfriend, and all that stuff. But the focus wasn't on HYROX, because I know the season is going to be very long. I know the season is going to last from like now October until June next year, and you need like mentally to be prepared for it. If I was like hitting some other HYROX races during July and August, and or I don't know, traveling to Australia for the races, or traveling there for the races, I would be like exhausted like in the middle of January, or I don't know, December. So my season is always like ends after Worlds. enjoy vacation, to have a couple of drinks, beer, wine, doesn't matter. Enjoy yourself, um, have fun, go for a party. I don't know, like just live your life. And then when the season starts, you go again.
Back to
And
work.
you need to find the right balance for yourself. Other than that, you lose like the motivation, you lose the love for the sport. When
Mhm.
you're like tracking every time your nutrition, when you're like just checking your body weight every morning, making sure every day like you're doing the program, what's on the plan, then that's mentally exhausting, and that's exhausting for your body. You need somewhere in that routine. You need to find some time for yourself, sometimes some time for friends, some time for family. You need to find the joy in between to make it like to make sure you can do it for a very long period of time, because it's not like one season, it's 5 season, 10 season. For
Mhm.
me, if I put it all together, I'm now in season 25. I don't know. so so
Season 25, episode 7.
so that's why all people like are coming into a sport or even coming into HYROX. You need to take it as a journey. It's not like from month to month. It takes years. For me, even it took me like 6 years being into the sport to be on the top level. To be like really on the top, like winning the world championships. So it's not something you can like, oh, I'm coming into the sport and I'm making the elite right now. I mean, uh, you need to be aware of like this takes time. You need to be patient to build up a solid running base. This needs time. You can like start with 20 kilometers this week and add up like 30 kilometers next week. You really need to be patient and make sure to be consistent through the year, through the years, and through the months, through the weeks, and just keep going, keep going. Make sure you stay healthy. Make sure you don't get injured. These are all things like you need to think of if you want to
Mhm.
get better, and then you have to think back. If you don't get better, why I'm not getting better? So these are all little things who sum up and add up, and who can like make the difference at the end of being an elite athlete or being an athlete somewhere in the top 50.
I'm glad that you clarified that. It does seem like you really do have a lot of balance. And I feel like we know a lot about you when it comes to your athletic background, your achievements in High Rocks. But as I was scrolling through your Instagram, I don't feel like we know a lot about that's where I do my research on Instagram and the internet. I feel like we need a moment now to get to know Alex outside of an athlete. So let's start with what is something that only your close friends or family know about you?
That's hard. I don't know. I like to be at home. Um, I like to be at home like in a clean home, like to make sure everything is like cleaned up.
Mhm.
I hate it when like things are like laying around somewhere where they not belong. Um, I'm also really into cars. Like
Ooh.
on some weekends, I spent a lot of time with my dad. Like we used to work on my van. I bought a van like 7 years ago, and we changed the engine, the transmission. We got it painted and tuned it up a little bit. So
What color
that's
did
what
you
I.
paint it?
It's a VW bus. It's like I don't know if you know, like it's a old van. It's a German company, VW, like the Volkswagen.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
course, I know
But
that. Yep, I had
it's
a
not the
Jetta,
little
that was my
it's
first
not the
vehicle.
little yeah, it's not the little Beetle. It's the big bus. It's like a
It's a
van.
bit okay, like the
Yeah,
'80s van that
yeah.
hippies
It's like
used
a
to drive
camper,
around.
like a
Oh,
camper.
amazing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah,
Can
and
you, like, go camping with it and live on the inside of it?
Yeah, I do it sometimes, like
Oh, cool.
in summer, like 2 weeks. I've been in Spain, in France with the camper, and yeah, sometimes sleeping in it, but not every day. But when we go camping, like it's 2 or 3 days in the bus, then again in the hotel, then again in the bus. So yeah, but really enjoying it. Like I don't need to go fast. It's just the journey. It's just the way, the road. That's why I love always like traveling to the US, and then renting some cars and just being on the road, doing some road trips there. Unbelievable. Like we love it. Last year in Chicago, we rented a car. I was there with my dad. That was like his lifetime goal, just to drive the Route 66. I know like the Route 66
Oh,
is not
yeah.
anymore like it was, but we rented the car, and then we drive around to St. Louis, I think, and then Iowa and all the, yeah, it was awesome. It was just you on the road. So these are some things I really enjoy. And yeah, I mean, I'm a simple guy. It's not. I'm not very complicated. Uh, like now it's like 2 years ago. I have my dogs. I enjoy it. Like in the morning, going. I mean, just walking is so nice. I didn't notice it before. Like you never go if you don't have a dog. You don't go for a walk, or no? I don't know
Oh,
how.
I have 2 dogs, so I walk very frequently. I don't know if I would if I didn't have dogs.
Yeah, I was like a couple of hours ago. I was at my parents' place, and I used to go like every second, third evening. I'm going to my parents' place, and that they see the dogs because they also love the dogs very much.
Of
And my
course.
mom told me like yesterday, my dad was sitting at home in front of the TV, and he was like, "You want to go for a walk?" Because he's also like he loves to walk with the dogs. So he was like, the dogs are not here, but maybe we can go for a walk. So that was really funny, and yeah, I'm enjoying it, like being with them also in the nature, being in dog parks, running with them, playing with the ball, and yeah, that's I think that's also what makes me as an athlete, like to being a lot outside, doing
Mhm.
different stuffs. I'm not just doing HYROX specific stuff all the time, because that's also boring for me. Even if there are a lot of workouts at HYROX, and there is the running, and then the sleds and the ergs, but I still like doing other sports, and that's what keeps me motivated. Like I'm not stressing about it when I'm not doing sleds in 1 week. So it's okay. I did other stuff. I'm not stressing if I didn't do any ergs in 1 week. So it's okay, and that's I think that what people like need to think of when they start their journey, especially in HYROX. Like it's more about the journey. It's more about having fun, enjoying it, loving what you do, watching like as you get better as an athlete, and not just like I need to get better at this. I need to get better at this. So just take your time, enjoy yourself, have fun, enjoy it. That's why I also love. I don't do like race simulations because I love the race, but I love to
Mm.
race when I'm ready for it. So I'm like really preparing like for months for a race, and then I do the race there, because then when I'm in the race, I enjoy it. I love it. But if I do like every week a HYROX simulation, then there is nothing special more in it. I mean, yeah, then you're in another city, and but if you do too much, it's not the same.
Alex, HYROX world champion, dog dad, loves nature, loves a clean house. It has been so much fun getting to know you more, and such a decorated athlete. I wish you all of the success. Where can people expect to see you at the next one? What's the next one on the list for you?
22nd of November, I'm gonna be in Hong Kong. That's for sure. Yeah, right now after the weekend, I'm taking like a couple of days off. I'm just easy biking or something. And tomorrow I'm gonna start the preparation for Hong Kong, and try to get the second major win. And yeah, I'll be a week earlier there. just never been to Asia, never been to Hong Kong. So just to see what's going on there, how's life there, what people are doing there, and to get adapted to that new time zone.
Mhm.
Never, I don't know how my body will feel, how my body will react. But as there is no Hong Kong athlete in the elite 15, everybody will like have the same problem, and everybody like will need to figure out. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait to race there, and let's see what it brings.
I can't wait to see what the results are. Good luck. Thank you so much for chatting with us, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you later in the season.